Hey guys, if you're new to this channel, on this channel we talk a lot about e-commerce and sourcing and products because this is both things that we do. So I'm living in China for 7 years now. I have a sourcing company where we help Amazon sellers and dropshippers source products in China. And we also have our own e-commerce businesses. When I say me, I mean me and partner. And we have our own e-commerce businesses where we sell things on Amazon, where we sell our own, on our own e-commerce store. So I know the one or the other thing about this. And today I'm going to answer a question. So if you have a question about any of these topics, sourcing, profiting, or selling your products online, just drop your questions below. Say hashtag #HeyNiels, drop your question below because then I can answer it for you and make a video about it just like this one. So today I'm going to be answering a question about from the Arabian Boutique. And last week I already answered a question from the Arabian Boutique. So I'm very glad that I keep getting questions from you. I appreciate that. So the question is, could you give us a video on how to calculate our costs more accurately, especially those who may be buying large quantity? Example, someone that buys a water bottle for $2 in China. What are the fees must they be aware of? I know there is agent fees, shipping fees, duty, tax, fulfillment centers, anything else we need to be aware of. So let's actually go through all of the costs, because you could think, and you could go on Alibaba and you say, oh, this product, let's say marker pens. This marker pen is 10 cents. So that's my product cost. I can sell it for $2, so I'm gonna get rich. However, there are a couple of more things that you need to pay attention to. So today I'm going to show you a little example here where we do this based on a backpack that you would sell via Amazon. So just to have all the things covered. I also go through, if it's not on Amazon, if it's your own thing, if it's self-fulfilled. So I'm just going to go through all of the costs here that you have with that. Now, very first, when you source your products, I always recommend you to use a sourcing agent. You should never, under any circumstances, source your own products in China. And this is due to two things. First of all, you're wasting your time doing it yourself because you have no idea how to do it and you don't understand the culture. Even me living in China, I cannot do it myself. And I shouldn't do it myself, because you can do it so much more effectively if you have a sourcing agent that can do that for you, because they save you so much money with that because they get a better price that you actually don't really pay for sourcing at all, because they save you 20% on the product cost. So if you buy something for $1,000, 20% of that, to the master real quick, that's $1,000, right? So you have $1,000 saved, and then you pay the agent a part of that, and you still save money. So you save money and they do all the thing for you. So I do not have the agent cost in here because effectively it doesn't really cost you anything. However, you would be looking at a 5% fee. You would be looking at, if you go with our company, and you can do that by scheduling a call below in the description, then you'll be looking at around $1,000, $1,200, $800. Depends on kind of what kind of product you want to source. And that's definitely the price that goes on top of that. Now, let's look at all of these things. So I do this based on a backpack. So let's say you source a backpack and you're selling the backpack for $25. Now, you have two different kind of costs. You have fixed costs and you have variable costs, right? You have fixed costs that come in, which is very first, it's your product. So very first fixed cost that you have, obviously you got to buy the product. So if you have to buy the backpack and it's $3, then it's very easy to say, oh, the backpack is $3, I can sell it for 25, so I'm gonna make $22. Well, that's not the case. Okay, so you have the product that you need to pay. Then you have the packaging for the product that you also need to pay. So if you do custom packaging, if you do whatever kind of packaging you do, that comes on top of that. Then what is next is the quality control. And that is all just when sourcing it, okay? So while sourcing it in China, you have the product, you have packaging, and then you have to do a quality control. So there are third parties that you can hire to do that. Do not rely on the quality control from the factory, because they do a quality control. Like, don't do that. Just have a third party that comes in, and they usually charge 10 cents or something like that. Everything adds up though. Then we have shipping from China here. In this example here, we're shipping these for $2. That was back then before Corona hit, before shipping was nuts and expensive and crazy. So now you would more be looking at $10 for shipping this by air. So what you would actually do is you would reduce this to 50 cents or to 20 cents and ship it by sea. That is what you should be looking at. Then you have import tax, and the import tax depend on the product. They depend on all of that. Where do you ship it to? What do you import? When do you import? All of that kind of stuff. So the import taxes, what I recommend you to do, to just do it easy, is you do the import tax and the shipping fee and the loading fee and the unloading fee and all of the stuff that happens with shipping or while shipping and importing, all of that. You find a forwarder that gives you a DDP quote. DDP quote means it's a door-to-door thing. That means all duties are paid. That means before you ship it, you have a forwarder that says, okay, this is the price that's going to happen. This is what we need to import. These are going to be your tax. This is all the cost, 100% of it are covered up front. So you got one bill up front, so you don't need to worry about that. So you have your import taxes and import fees, and that really depends on the product. That really depends on what you're actually importing here and then what's kind of the value of it and all of that. So it's a bit hard to answer that. Now, that's your landed cost. So how much does it cost you to land the product in the country? Okay, you have your landed costs, which are your fixed costs, and then you have variable costs. Variable cost depends on how many units you have, or variable costs appear once you sell a product. Okay. Variable costs that you have to be aware of are storage. You have to store your product, right? So you have a storage fee, whether you store it via Amazon, you have another fulfillment center, you store it in your house. Like you have some sort of fee on that. That's a storage fee. You have a fulfillment fee, meaning someone needs to pick the product, pack the product, and ship it out. That is a fulfillment fee, whether that's your fulfillment center, whether that's Amazon, wherever that is. If you have a fulfillment center, you also have an order fee. So the order fee, for example, you drop ship products from a wholesaler and they ship things out for you. For every time they ship things out, they charge you a $5 fee or a $10 fee just for picking, packing that, and basically for handling it. Okay, that's your handling fee. Then we got the local shipping, or for you Australians, this is the postage. Okay, the postage obviously depends on what products it is, etc. Referral fees, this is something for Amazon. This could be seen as your marketing fees. So if you're doing Facebook ads, if you're selling bigger quantities, this is your marketing, if you will. Also, you have taxes. Well, you gotta pay taxes. If you make money, the greedy government comes in and say, thank you for making money. We want to have part of that. We want to have a piece of that. So you got taxes, and the taxes are different for each country, depends on where you are, but this is something you cannot forget. Usually how you do the taxes, you just put it on top of the product, the customer pays for it. Advertisement costs, this is something that obviously comes in addition as well, is that you need to advertise your product. These are pretty much all the costs, so you have a total of variable costs here of around $11. Let's say it's in Amazon, we have it sold, we don't have any advertisement fee, we have a little bit of tax, we have the referrals, we have fulfillment, we have storage. So the variable costs, every time you sell the product, are $12, almost $12 here. The fixed cost here, the landed costs, are $5. Product, packaging, quality control, shipping. So actually we're ending up at a total cost per unit at $17. So the total profit here is $7, and if you buy 500 units, your total revenue is going to be $12,500. Your total costs are going to be $8,600, and your total profit is going to be $3,800 without any advertisement spent. So this is the other thing that you cannot forget in e-commerce, that you have to spend money for advertisement unless you sell the customer again. I hope that kind of clears it up, and I hope that are the fees. I think with your question, you already covered all of this. I'm very happy about your question though, because I think a lot of people here can learn about that, and I'm very glad for you watching this video. I hope it helps. Let's just recap that real quick. You get your product landed costs. So in China, all the costs that come, your product, packaging, quality control, shipping from China, all of this kind of things that happens up front. That's something you need to pay up front. Then you have all the variables that you cannot forget. Your storage, your fulfillment, your local shipping, referral fees, all of that kind of stuff. You cannot forget that. And if you actually look at it like it, the variable costs here are twice what your landed costs are. So this is something people a lot of times forget, and something that you need to be aware of, that this is coming. Okay, so I hope this answered the question. If you want to learn more about e-commerce, if you want to learn more about sourcing, if you want to learn more about selling your products, there are 2 links in the description. One link is a link where you can schedule a call with me, and then we can get on the phone and I'll tell you how we can help you source your products for you, how we can actually get these costs down here, the product cost. How can we get the product cost down by 20% for you, and how we can actually work for free for you to source your products in China. The second thing that's down there is a web class, a free web class with all of the secrets, with everything that I learned in selling multiple 7 figures of e-commerce products. So I share everything that I learned in that web class. It can change your life. It certainly did change mine once I learned about the system, and once I learned how to profitably sell products online. So make sure to watch that class as well, and I catch you tomorrow.